Welcome back to my Super Metroid 100% item collection rate guide and walkthrough. This is the final installment of the guide. We will be going to Torian, going on a grand world Torian, and well, we're pretty much going to be seeing the end credits since this game, funny enough, does not have a post-game, so once you pretty much beat the game, you just reset your game back to your last save spot, and there's going to be a very brief but very important caution when we get to the final save point in the game. But first, since this is just going to be me running back to Brinstar, the beginning and the end, or Criteria, sorry, I must have got confused. That someone's like, no, it's not Brinstar, it's Criteria, you fucker. Whatever, I don't fucking care. Same fucking difference. Anyway, so since Torian's going to be rather short, I have to talk some strategy. I might as well get my thoughts about Torian in this game out right now. So as far as Torian goes for a final area, I'm going to still say that the original Torian was a hell of a lot harder, and that wasn't mainly due to the fact that it was just an NES game, but the Metroids in that game was just fucking bitches, and you barely had anything to deal with them. Once you were grabbed, you were kind of fucked. Also doesn't really mention the fact that in that game, if you had to restart from your last continue point, you were pretty much left with 30 energy. So yeah, when I did my Let's Play, I had to keep an old password reserved up and have one of the energy tanks blatantly missing, since I believe you could like miss out on one energy tank and use that as your means of filling up your health, since the game is fucking dumb. So I had to have a password deliberately set up so that I would have all but one of the energy tanks, which I think was the closest one to Torian, because I wanted to do it all in one fair shake, because if I didn't, then well, it was just going to be a fucking nightmare, and that was probably the only part of the game you could say I legitimately cheated at, because fucking Torian was just an awful experience in the NES Troid. That it's probably the worst thing about that game, honestly, besides the whole 30 energy bullshit. But seriously, Torian is like the worst designed area in that game, at least in terms of its mechanics. But as far as this incarnation of Torian is concerned, I say it's probably a little too easy, since you can just freeze the Metroids, who are nowhere near as bitches as they were in the last game, as I once again go through Meridia. If I must hate it, I must really like it or some shit. It's a fucking love-hate relationship, guys. I'm sorry. I hate fuck Meridia every day and every night. I just can't help myself. I am a fucking simp for Meridia. And I am not sorry. Anyway, so Torian in this game I feel is a little too easy, since you can just freeze the fucker, which I would recommend you actually turn on the Ice Beam. Ice Beam! Because, well, if you don't, you're going to be either going to have to, you know, deal with 3 power bombs, I think, and that is honestly just kind of a waste of resources, because how they are somewhat immune to, you know, or they are somewhat shit fuck, yeah, somehow resistant, but not kind of whatever the fuck. Jesus Christ, I cannot talk at all. Somehow not resistant to power bombs. You can take 3 of them before exploding. Tells me other power bombs in this incarnation are really shitty. So yeah, once again, we're going to be going through this little entrance, but we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Instead of going through the normal path that everyone in the Mother takes, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, because I want to hammer this point once again. I don't know how people like Trav in 2021 can fucking think that that fucking room with the 2 power bombs, or sorry, missiles, I am pretty much tired. I've been commentating non-fucking stop, that I had to refill my energy because of that blunder, and that I used up all my fucking super missiles during the, I almost said grade. Fuck, goddammit. I really need some fucking, I really need to fucking chow down or something. Anyway, I have no idea how the fuck people like Trav can get off on saying that you'll soft lock your game if you have to go through this room twice. Because that's like the most just disingenuous thing I've ever hear someone say, who's trying to get into, you know, into the YouTube scene. And I want to make a little footnote about that. Speaking of disingenuous, I want to make a little footnote. I actually decided to check out Steph Samba's video, despite me in my commentary, which I'll be uploading soon, that I wouldn't. But I've seen some of his other videos just for shits and giggles, and I have to say that I think out of all of them, I think he's actually the most serious about his Symphony of the Night video, because everywhere else people seem to be taking it as a pretty big joke, but the way that he defends himself in the comments, I actually think that he actually thinks this game is objectively bad, and I don't know why. I mean, yeah, the game has issues, but do I hate it? No. I mean, I'm very critical of games for reasons, because I'm just tired of seeing fucking newer games just not being as good as the old ones, and I have my reasons, because I played so many games that the new ones barely do anything for me. Even after playing something like Blast and Master Zero, I still have issues with it, but does that mean I hate the games? No, it just has issues that I wish were different, or they weren't there to begin with. Anyway, here is the hallway of Doom. And just to show that, yes, well, first I'm turning on the Ice Beam, because at this point, we're going to be watching the statue, you know, turn into intergalactic space dust. No, I did not misspeak. So, with that Steph Sama person's video on Symphony of the Night, I'm completely dumbfounded as to someone, despite the video's age. I'm not quite certain if he's still in character, but regardless, I really don't care, and I'm probably never watching another video of his ever again, because it is such a fucking bad video that someone who deliberately uses words in Japanese but still speaking English is completely what Otacon's character is from Metal Gear Solid, except Otacon was a way more likable character, except in his Metal Gear Solid 5 incarnation, where he was a complete fucking asshole. For reasons that might make sense, but it does not mean he's a good fucking character. Metal Gear Solid 5 has some interesting story bits, but gameplay-wise is the disgrace to Metal Gear. And I am not sorry about that. Anyway, here's Torian. I hope you haven't had anything to eat, because you're going to be hearing a lot of fucking stomach growls in this shit, because it is honestly kind of disgusting. So anyway, the strategy of these Metroids is that you'll want to shoot the first shot, equip your super missile, and rinse and repeat. You'll want to watch out for the SpaghettiOs, because they're just as much as assholes as they were in the previous game, although they're nowhere near as damaging, so rest assured. Also, Nintendo, I see what you did there with the fucking, the sprites or whatever for the lava. They could not be bothered making fucking different lava textures, so you just pasted over it and would not expect you to see it. Honestly, Nintendo did is probably the laziest thing in this fucking game. You literally could not take the fucking, the lava sprite and just make it red but more damaging or some shit. I don't know why you had to fucking paint that fucking bullshit. But as you can see, I got caught by a Metroid. I think there's a way to undo yourself, but just to show of the powerbomb trick, you can do it. This might be a little bit more riskier, but that is how you kill the Metroids with the powerbomb. Also, just to note that while you can leave the room, you're not allowed to proceed until you kill all the Metroids. So you'll want to make sure that you're always firing, because when you fire, you'll always get the first shot. And there's really not that many of them for a game called Super Metroid. Although the Machtroids from earlier were nowhere near as a threat, but these ones mean serious business. I also skipped the save point, but if you're going to go for the ending, I highly suggest just take that one and do not take the next one, because it's the part of the point where the point of no return comes into play, and also the only real cinematic moment of the entire game. So, first of all, these enemies cannot be killed. Do not bother trying to engage them. They're actually kind of a bit of an asshole, since you can't kill them at all. They're the most powerful creatures on Zebes, or Zebes, whatever. There is a Chozo statue that disintegrates, so you can completely ignore that. And there is an enemy that's coming up, although it doesn't hurt you, but instead it's part of the okay, it's not part of the background, okay, but yeah, it can still hurt you, so don't go near it. Not that it really matters, because this is the baby Metroid from earlier, and there's actually a very hilarious Mugen character based off this character. He's very fucking cheap, but actually kind of funny. But anyway, there is a way to avoid it and not have it attack you, but if it does, it's going to sink all your health, although you will be left with just one hit point. And obviously, if you go ahead and get hit by anything else, well, it doesn't drain your auto reserve tank for some reason, but I guess it realizes who you are, so it just says, oh shit, I better not kill you. So it just kind of floats around, and then it just fucks off. What the fuck is the deal with the Metroids anyway? There's probably some elaborate backstory to them, but I really don't fucking care. They also did a similar thing in Metroid Fusion, but if you play the game out, you know what's up. I'm not going to talk about it here, because it's not time here nor there. Actually, don't use the super missile, but use the regular missiles, because there's actually a missile recharge right here. And there's also a very convenient health station, which was completely pointless. Thank you, game. It's like, hey, here's a cinematic moment, but here's to bring back all your energy. What the fuck was the point of that? Seriously, that is like the dumbest thing in the shit ever, but at least it makes sense. But whatever. Once again, more space, sanity goodness, although thankfully nowhere near as annoying as Meridia. Although there is a fucking door here to contend with. Once again, do not use your super missiles. You want to make sure you have all that shit saved up for later, because you're going to be needing that for later. And I accidentally shot one. I fucking hate myself. Guide over. Anyway, this is the save point I was talking about. Do not take the save station under any circumstances. If you do, you're not going to be able to go back, because there is a door of no return, which is where that Chozo statue was. That door is locked, and you cannot go back under any circumstances unless you use something to go through it. Now, this room. Now, you could theoretically take that save room if you wanted to, if you just want to get to the ending without any hassles, but again, if you do that, you're going to cut yourself and not be able to get the ending, so do not take it under any circumstances if you want to continue playing this game past its ending credits. Okay, as for strategy, it's very simple. Just use your regular missiles. Don't bother using your super missiles until the Mother Brain fight, who we'll be dealing with in a second. It's a very interesting recreation of the one from this is Super Metroid, no. The original Metroid fight, although once you destroy Mother Brain's little glass and then start shooting at it enough, we're going to start getting a very interesting twist that probably made gamers back in '94 completely shit themselves. So as you can see, the Mother Brain is turned into a different color. Lots of flashing lights, but it's not even in the fucking SNES Switch Online version, because Nintendo fucking retards. God forbid there's fucking flashing lights everywhere. Good fucking lord. It's just fucking flashing lights. Who fucking cares? In the 4 Pokemon reference. Anyway. Shoot the Mother Brain with all your super missiles. Just basically shoot everything it has. Now, you can still die here, but because you have so much energy, it shouldn't be a big deal, but just pound Mother Brain with all your missiles, and then switch to your regular missiles, and just keep firing up until a certain point. In which at that point will be once Mother Brain starts to close her eyes, or I think it's an eye, I don't know, mind's eye, I don't fucking know. And then once her eye starts to close and you hear like a little charge from her, that means she's going to start using her Hyper Beam, which is going to fucking hurt, and you're going to probably see that in just a second. So yeah, once her head glows and she closes her eye, that means she's about to do her move, which is going to drain all of your ammo. So your power bombs, well, if you want to use them, then well, you're fucked. But as you can see, you will be stunned. You can't really do anything. She's going to charge up again. This is that moment where, despite using all your weapons on Mother Brain, you are pretty much hopeless. You're going to get completely shit-fucked by Mother Brain and all her Rainbow Wisdom. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it is possible to die here, but if you somehow don't fuck up as she attempts to shoot you, fucking bitch, we know she's going to kill us, but she for some reason decides to shoot us with fucking some form of grenade and fucking sonic wave bullshit and whatever the fuck it's supposed to be, but you'll know you did this right when she tries to charge up her beam again when you're near close to death, and this happens. The Prodigy Child Metroid comes in and saves the day, you know, absorbing the beam, I guess, the Hyper Beam from Mother Brain, and this gives Mother Brain, as Galactus puts it, the ultimate nullifier, and this temporarily pauses Mother Brain, as you can see. So it looks like that Mother Brain is put in the same state as the other creatures from earlier. I almost said characters. And the Prodigy Child Mother Brain, the Prodigy Child Metroid comes in and refills all your shit. It somehow will give you all back of your energy, which I guess somehow the Hyper Beam can be absorbed to give back into the character. That doesn't make any fucking sense, but it's Nintendo, so it's whatever. But as the Metroid is doing this, Mother Brain has awoken and is started to shoot the fucker. And once the Metroid, it goes in for one last attack, Mother Brain says, "Fuck you." And the Metroid explodes. and we somehow now absorb the hyper beam within ourselves, and we can now use this to, well, shoot Mother Brain. Now all you have to do is hold the directional button and just shoot the fuck out of Mother Brain. If you still somehow die to this, you suck. Never play this game again. You just fucking suck at video games. So, put Mother Brain down at her spot. You'll kill her for good. And, well, I think we all know what's coming up next. Ah, shit. Here we go again. I don't feel so good. Sorry. Time bomb set. Escape immediately. You got 3 minutes to leave planet Zebes, whatever. Shoot down those fucking gates. They will just get in the way. And now we're going to have to go through another section of the escape sequence. Although for some reason, I definitely have to say, despite this theme very iconic for the Metroid series, it honestly is just kind of annoying how we don't have another version of the escape theme. Like, we hear this shit way too many times. Like, Sarah's Space Station, like, you hear this against the Golden Chorizo, the Chorizo fights. You hear this against the, fucking Dragoon. You hear this against the other bosses. It just gets honestly tiring after a while. At this point, I just get kind of sick of this theme, honestly. It's a great theme, don't get me wrong, but it's just like, you hear way too fucking much in this game. And I'm very much glad that other versions of this theme have been remixed into other games. Although I'm still going to go on a limb and say that the original NES escape theme is probably the best, and Zero Mission comes in a very close second, but they don't have the extra part of the song that was apparently only made for the American audience, which is interesting. It's actually one of my favorite pieces of Metroid history, which was apparently a complete accident, apparently, which is pretty interesting. But apparently I fail a lot, but you're going to want to do this because you're going to need to get a speed boost if you want to make quick work of this, so, you know, you can get this part. Make sure you get that, otherwise you have to do a classic NES Metroid jumping up that wall shit, and you don't want to do that. There's actually a really funny video of someone actually getting right to the end, but they fuck up and die. So don't be that person. You have to do it all over again. So, don't do that. As you can see, all the doors are unlocked. You can't even go to the left, so don't even try. Everything is pretty much exploding. You don't have time for bullshit. Although there is one very tricky section here, and I don't know how anyone figured this out. It doesn't really matter, since there doesn't really anything change besides one particular ending of one particular couple sprites that you get changed, which is somehow canon in Fusion. We'll explain that later. We'll get to it. But for right now, shoot this wall. Wait for all the little creatures to go through. I don't know if you have to wait for all of them to go through, but I just wait anyway. But if you wait too long, the floors start rising, so get a move on. If you did everything correctly, as you should, you will have more than enough time to get back to your ship and, well, leave this godforsaken place while it is exploding. And surprisingly, the fucking steam from the Sarah Space Station make its way here, except that I don't think it hurts you, so yeah, waste potential. But anyway, make your way to this ship. Once you go down, you have officially completed Super Metroid, and congratulations, you have completed one of the greatest Super Nintendo games of all time. Pat yourself on the back, you motherfucker, because you deserved it. Unfortunately, the ship does not refill all your shit. And just to show off the ending, because again, there's not really a lot of cutscenes, and just because this game is so fucking good, you will see that Planet Zebes has exploded again, hopefully for good this time. And just to show that, yes, I did get the good ending. Nothing really fucking matters in this game, honestly, but for story purposes, I did it. You know, because it is important. You'll probably see it in a second. There we go. So yeah, we got the best ending. And now, to quote all doctors everywhere, the operation was completed successfully at clear time, 3 hours and 33 seconds. Yeah, not my best one of Super Metroid, but just to show off the ending because I wanted to show off the suit, and because this game is so fucking good, and just to show I did get all the items. I didn't want to doctor up the Switch or anything, although the footage should tell, obviously, but I wanted to show it off. So probably in my top 10 worst mistakes in my life, because I did not get 100% under 3 hours. But I just want to clarify again, this guide was not meant to factor in time, because I want people to play this game, you know, get all the items, and then go for, you know, under 3 hours. Not to really get anything for doing this in particular other than bragging rights, but there you go. See you next mission. And in my next lineup of Metroid guides and walkthroughs, we'll be covering Metroid Fusion, which for that one, I will be covering the hard mode in the Japanese version, since there is a difficulty selection, which, honestly, all the hard mode does is really just give you a... it just increases damage taken and shit, so it's not really too exciting, but it is a Japanese exclusive feature, and not really many people really know or talk about it, so I want to bring something new to the table. And speaking of bringing new to the table, I'm going to also be doing 2 different guides for it, a 0% run and a 100% run, both on the Japanese version's hard mode, but with English text to make it not as stress-inducing. I know there's a video on YouTube that shows the game no damage on hard mode, but the visual effects are a little bit of an eyesore, so this one should hopefully have the classic Seraphim 17 Big Benedict style video walkthrough that will help people play the game and just hear my wonderful commentary just like they do, passing on the torch. But that's it for this guide and walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed it from start to finish. I hope you learned something new. I hope you enjoy my commentary. Let me know if you want me to do some other guides that might be considered worth a shot. I don't know. Any classic games in particular that's not too hard to get up and running. I don't know. But thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoy this, and ladies and gentlemen, this is Escape Room Play, and I will see you all next file.